Hello, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is a message from your ex. Did they break your heart? Did you break their heart? How are they feeling towards you now? Do they want to come back to you? What's the tea? We're going to figure it out. There are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest choosing the pile that sparks a memory in you. So, for example, I would choose the child wounded pile because the quilt that is on the person in this pile reminds me of the quilt that I would use at my father's house when I visited him when I was a kid. Pause the video now if you need to. I will put timestamps in the description down below. If you chose pile 1, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 9 of Pentacles, the Sun, the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and the King of Wands. The pile marker that you chose says Samaritan, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, and exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Your Romance Angels card says it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And finally, your Hidden Truth Oracle says, I wish I had treated you better. So let's get into it. Let's start off with this 9 of Pentacles. So your ex thought that they would be happier single, and that's not like a reflection on you necessarily. It might just be that you two are very young, or it was one of their first relationships and they were kind of feeling like, I don't want to settle down without having gone out and like experienced other people or things. I don't want to limit myself in that kind of way. So this person thought, okay, I can be successfully single. That's what this card is about, is 9 of Pentacles in a love reading, is about being single. And then with the Sun next to it, this is how they thought it would be. They thought they would be super happy and, happy and carefree, and their life would feel so good without you because they thought the world would open up to them, or that you were like restricting them in some way. But the reality of the situation is, after they left you, they come into this 7 of Wands energy, which is all about feeling like all these odds are stacked against you and kind of having these obstacles in their love life from all angles. So they probably thought they would go out and they would have a bunch of flings, or they'd have a bunch of people to go on dates with or hook up with or whatever. And that did not happen, or they just realized that they weren't getting the same emotional fulfillment that they were with you. And so that is what brought them into this 6 of Cups energy, which is a card of, it can indicate like love, but also nostalgia. So I'm getting, because they are missing out on whatever it is that they missed about the relationship, the emotional aspects, the physical aspects, they have, kind of been replaying these memories about you in their head and thinking about how much they miss you, how they wish that they could go back to that time and experience the love or the care that you gave them again. Which is why now, at the end of your spread, they're in this King of Wands energy. They still feel very passionate to you, and in their mind, they're loyal to you. And I do think that they would like to get back together with you. And I think that is echoed in this Hidden Truth Oracle that says, I wish I had treated you better. It goes hand in hand with the 7 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. This person thought that it would be easier or more fulfilling without you, and they were wrong. They realized they messed up. On your Archetype card, which was the pile marker for the card you chose, it says Samaritan, and what's really coming through strongly for me is the shadow attribute that's listed on this card, which says exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So I feel like they thought they weren't getting enough for you. Like maybe they thought they were a really great partner, and they were like, I deserve, better than this, which is not necessarily a diss on you. It might just be like they think that they should be like sowing their oats or something. I just feel like they thought that they were someone who deserved to have like multiple people fawning over them, or they deserve to I don't know, be able to hook up with all kinds of people. And then finally, for your Romance Angels card, it says, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So this goes with that King of Wands. This is the energy they're in right now, which is that they still feel very passionately about you, and they do want to come back to you, I'm getting, especially with the Six of Cups. So they want to say, it's safe for you to love me. I'm not going to do that again. But let me clarify that this is just a message from them, okay? This is not necessarily how it's going to be. So if your BS detectors are going off right now, listen to that. Because this is, from their perspective, what they want to say to you. Whether or not it accurately reflects the situation or aligns with your feelings is a different story. But that is what your ex has to say to you overall. You know, they left. They thought they would have more fun being single. They realized that was not the case. And now they're hung up on you and they really miss you and they want to come back. All right, that is it for your reading, Pile 1. Thank you. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. I will try to release a new video once a week. Thank you. Bye. If you chose Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the High Priestess, the Tower, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Four of Swords. On the Archetype card you chose as your pile marker, it says Child Wounded, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness, and blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. For your Romance Angels card, we have Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And finally, for your Hidden Truth Oracle, we have You Are the Best Thing in My Life. So, Pile 2, what does your ex want to tell you? Let's begin with the High Priestess. So first of all, I'm picking up that you and your ex had a very strong, like, mental and or spiritual connection. Like, I've experienced this in the past where sometimes when you're dating someone, you can, like, even when you're separated, you kind of, like, know what they're feeling at that exact moment intuitively. Like, you kind of have the gut that they're, like, angry or whatever. And I feel like you had a very strong connection like that where it kind of manifested in maybe ways that were like divine or supernatural, if you want to call it that, whatever. But either way, you had a very strong like mental connection, like almost like telepathic. And because of that, you really deeply understood each other and kind of had this like intuitive knowledge of each other and your backgrounds. And then next to that, we have the Tower. So the thing is, this connection was pretty terrifying to them actually, because I don't think they were like expecting the relationship to be this like intense or this serious necessarily when they first met you or they first pursued you or you pursued them. I think that with this Child Wounded card also, I'm getting that maybe they had like a difficult childhood or they've had difficult romantic relationships in the past. And because of that, they have a hard time opening up or they just generally kind of have like trust issues. So when you come along, they really want to open up to you because they can't hide from you. You have this High Priestess energy where you kind of see through them. But I just don't think they were ready for this. I mean, with the Tower, the thing about the Tower is it's there's not a stable foundation, which is why the tower falls down. So this person was not stable enough to be able to handle this connection, but they did really like you. In the center of your spread, we have the Two of Cups, which is a really beautiful relationship card. Anytime you get this in a love reading, it's just beautiful. I mean, there's a real romantic connection and a mutual understanding and a real softness and care that comes with this card. So they really liked you, but also the relationship, the intensity of the relationship, how much they liked you really scared them, which is why probably it did not work out. I'm not really getting that they like ran away necessarily, but I think they just couldn't give you like the emotional intimacy that you wanted. And so now they're kind of in this Four of Swords energy that is at the very end of your spread. The Four of Swords is a card of like retreating from battle and resting and recovering after kind of going through something harsh or traumatic. So I'm getting that they knew that they kind of had to take a step back. They weren't going to be able to be like a good partner or be able to really enjoy a fulfilling relationship with you until they took a step back and like worked on themselves. And I don't know that they're finished with this journey necessarily, but they're definitely at a place now where they kind of feel at peace with what happened. Like, they don't feel bad about your breakup necessarily, which is not to say that they don't care about you or they don't like you, but they don't have feelings of guilt. They do feel like they did the right thing. Like, they feel like you're better off without them. And they have fond feelings for you, and most of the time they feel like they should just leave you alone. But then sometimes they come into this Knight of Wands energy, which is the fourth card of your spread. The Knight of Wands is the fastest of all the knights. This is someone who's like super passionate and takes charge and just goes after what they want. So with the Knight of Wands, I'm getting this person sometimes just really wants to like come back to you and kind of rush in and come back towards this Two of Cups. If you look at the tarot spread, the Knight of Wands is facing away from the Four of Swords and going towards the Two of Cups. So I see that he wants to, or not necessarily he, sorry, force of habit. It could be a woman, but knights are masculine energies. And this person wants to transition from this Four of Swords energy where they're kind of staying away from you and laying low back into this Two of Cups. So they do, like I said, have fond feelings for you, and they do want to come back sometimes, but I also think that they are content with where they are right now. So with this Child Wounded card, I am picking up the shadow attribute for it, especially blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. It also says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children and opens a learning path of forgiveness. So I'm hearing that you could have also had like a rough childhood or kind of rough relationships romantically in the past. And that is one of the things that you guys really connect with each other on, and you have empathy for each other's situations, which is reflected in this High Priestess card. But also this person was just not like ready to work through that. They were not ready to face how their like coping mechanisms, which was probably being really tightly guarded or not really allowing emotional intimacy in their life. They were just not ready to own up to the fact that those coping mechanisms were no longer serving them. It would not help them in this relationship. It would actually be the downfall of this relationship. And for your romance angels, we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I think this goes with this Four of Swords energy and this Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands is an optimistic card, I think. Part of it is they want you to be optimistic that one day they will be like ready to be there for you. But like I said, they kind of are torn between these two energies, where part of them is like, I just want to leave you alone and I want us like to both be happy. And then the other part of them that really wants to come back to you kind of in these spontaneous bursts. So I'm getting, first, they want you to stay optimistic that they will come back. And they also want you to stay optimistic that you will find another relationship that is just as deep and meaningful and sweet as the one that you had with them. And finally, for the Hidden Truth Oracle, we have You Are the Best Thing in My Life. Goes with this Two of Cups. They really like you, honestly. They have very positive feelings towards you. And they wish you the best. So overall for pile 2, you had a really deep connection and it scared them. They really liked you, but they just couldn't handle it because it made them face things about themselves that they were holding on to, like negative coping mechanisms. So now they're at this place where they've healed a bit. They've taken the time to kind of examine themselves and recuperate. And they do want to come back to you occasionally. They really like you or love you still. They have a lot of affection for you. And they wish you the best. All right, pile 2, that is it for your reading. Thank you. If you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and subscribe. I try to put out a video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. On the Archetype card you chose as your pile marker, it says Damsel. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself, and waiting for a knight to provide for you. Seduction by romantic illusion. Your Romance Angels card says, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And finally, your Hidden Truth Oracle says, finding out the truth crushed me. So before I begin getting into the cards for this pile, I just want to clarify that this is a message from your ex. This is what they want to say. It's not necessarily the truth of the situation, because your ex seems to put a lot of blame on you for the downfall of your relationship. So let's start with your tarot cards. Let's start with this Five of Wands energy. So Five of Wands is a card of like petty squabbles. So I'm getting that you guys probably bickered a lot, or you disagreed quite frequently, or that's how they perceived it. They thought you were a little bit like combative, or you kind of picked fights with them out of nowhere. And then next to it, we have this Eight of Pentacles, and I believe that this is the energy that they claim that they were giving in the relationship, which is kind of this heads down, hardworking, putting in all of this effort to build something. And then, you know, next to the Five of Wands, this is a stark contrast. So I feel like they think you were approaching with this Five of Wands energy where you were almost like overly criticizing them. And they think they were in this Eight of Pentacles, like, I'm working so hard to build this relationship. And then in the middle of your spread, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man upright is a card about making sacrifices or putting yourself in an uncomfortable position in order to reach like some kind of enlightenment or get to a place of advanced clarity. So in reverse, there's this feeling of resistance to making sacrifices. And I'm getting two messages for this Hanged Man card. The first is that your ex felt like this relationship was like no longer serving them. They felt like they were holding on to something that was not going to like help them in the long run or bring them joy. And I'm also hearing that they thought that you were unwilling to put in the effort and make sacrifices in the relationship, like you weren't putting in as much work as they were. And then next to the Hangman, we have this Three of Cups card. So I'm also getting two messages for this. The Three of Cups can be a card of like friendship, spending time with your friends, hanging out with your friends. And what I'm getting from this is that for some of you, your ex thought that there was like a third party situation. Could be true, could be not true. It could just be that they were like jealous and you had, like for example, if you dated a guy and you're interested in men, you could have had a male friend or like a male coworker or something, and they just thought that you were like too close to this person and it bothered them. It could be that you actually did have feelings for another person. But I'm also hearing it could be like they thought you didn't prioritize them, like you made sure to spend time to balance your time between your ex and your friends, and they didn't like that. They thought that was like evidence that you weren't serious about them because you didn't make them like your whole world. So take what resonates from that. And then at the end of your spread, we have this Knight of Pentacles, which I think is the continuation of this Eight of Pentacles energy your ex felt like they were in during your relationship. This is how they perceive themselves, as this really hardworking, like stable energy. And the Knight of Pentacles is facing away from all of these cards that represented your relationship. So this person feels that they have walked away from this. I don't think that they are interested in returning to you, to be honest, which may or may not be because of actions you did. It just could be because they were like a little bit controlling and they expected you to sacrifice all other parts of your life in order to like keep them. And that is also coming through in this Archetype card, which is the pile marker for the pile that you chose. So it says, damsel, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself, and waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. So your ex thinks that they're in this energy of understanding the nature of healthy romance. Whether that or not that's true, you will know that more than I do just from the spread. But waiting for a knight to provide for you, they definitely wanted you to like give more in the relationship. And then for your romance angels card, it says make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So again, this is what they're saying to you through this Hangman in reverse, through this Eight of Pentacles. They're saying, I was putting in more effort than you were. If you want to have like a successful relationship with me or anyone else, you have to try harder. And finally, for your Hidden Truth Oracle, we have finding out the truth crushed me. So I think this relates back to that Three of Cups and Five of Wands. Like I said, they could have been a third party situation or like a perceived third party situation. Could have been that they were really controlling and didn't like that you didn't kind of put yourself under their thumb. And overall, I would say if you're so interested in getting back with this person, please don't. I don't think that it would be healthy for either you or your ex. So overall, your ex has to say, I felt like I was putting in all the work in this relationship and you were just criticizing me or picking petty fights. You weren't willing to do the same things that I was in order to make this work. You prioritize other people or other people outside of our relationship, made me insecure about how you felt about me. And because of that, I've had to walk away. All right, Pile 3, that is it for your reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel inclined. I try to put out a video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Four of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Your archetype card that you chose as your pile marker says Knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor, and allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. Your romance angels card says wedding. This situation involves marriage. And finally, your hidden truth oracle says it's time for me to heal now. Oh, pile 4, you miss your ex, huh? Let's start with your tarot cards. So we begin your tarot spread with the Four of Cups, which is, if you look at this card, the person on this card has 3 cups behind them, and they have this 4th card in front of them that's kind of grander and more beautiful than all the other cups, but they don't seem like particularly interested. They're not reaching out for it or anything. And then next to your 4 of Cups, we have the Nine of Swords, which is a card of anxiety and fear and grief and feeling defeated. So what I'm getting from these 2 cards combined is that your ex was struggling with their mental health. They probably had depression. They could have been experiencing some kind of grief from some sort of loss. Could be like a family member or something. But what I'm getting from this is, for the Four of Cups, sometimes our grief or our depression, one of the symptoms of that is having a loss of interest or a loss of energy to deal with like other aspects of our life. So with this Four of Cups card, I'm getting they just like did not have the energy or the emotional bandwidth to really like nurture their relationship with you. And it's not that they didn't want to, it's that they were going through this other stuff mentally, and they just did not have the capacity to really like cherish you in the way that a more mentally healthy person would. And that brings us to this Two of Pentacles energy in the middle of your spread. So I do think that this person definitely tried. The person on this card is on their tiptoes trying to balance these 2 pentacles. This person was trying to balance dealing with their mental health issues and putting in the groundwork for the relationship with you. But it was really difficult. They're on their tiptoes in this card. They felt like they were walking on a tightrope a lot. They felt like they could just fall off at any moment. They just didn't know if they had the capacity and the skill to like continue on with probably multiple aspects of their life, not even just with your relationship. And that brings us to this Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is a card of lack, and I'm getting that this person they just could not, like I said, put in the effort into the relationship. They didn't have the energy to do that because of this other stuff going on in their life, and they felt bad about that. They did feel like they were not giving you what you deserved. There's a lot of grief in this pile. And also with the Five of Pentacles, I'm picking up a second message for you, which is that you were willing to stick it out with this person. If you look at the imagery on this card, even though these people are out in the cold with no resources, they still have each other. They're curled up next to each other. And that's how you felt. You felt like, well, I want to be with you through thick and thin. I want to be here to support you while you're going through this mental stuff. And I don't really care if it's difficult because I chose you. I chose to be in this relationship and put effort into you. And then on the other hand, This person just feels guilty because they don't think you should have to take care of them or should have to kind of put up with a relationship where they don't have the energy to like fully devote to you and to be happy with you, which is what brings us to this Six of Swords energy at the end of your spread. This person felt like they needed to walk away. They needed to minimize a lot of the extra stuff in their life, which unfortunately included their relationship with you. So that way they could transition into like a place of healing. And it does seem like they're doing that. We have in your Hidden Truth Oracle, it's time for me to heal now, which, echoes the Six of Swords. They're definitely interested in healing themselves so that way they can be happier in their day-to-day life and they can be a better partner in the future, because this person does really care about you. For your Archetype card, we have the Knight, which says loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor, and allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. So this person is very loyal to you. They have romantic feelings for you, and they want to be like a knight in shining armor for you. They just don't have, they feel like they can't do that right now. They just don't feel like that person. And for the allegiance to a destructive ruler, this destructive ruler is their own mental health. They just, it's all encompassing in their life. It kind of colors everything, even the really bright spots like your relationship. It just colors everything like gray. It's hard for them to feel like happy or excited about anything. For your Romance Angels card, we have wedding. This situation involves marriage. So this person definitely, like I said, they were very loyal to you. They have strong feelings for you. They have wanted to marry you at some point. They've thought about getting married to you, and probably you to them. You could have even been engaged, and you had to break off that engagement so they could go focus on themselves and healing for a while. So this person, overall, your ex wants you to know, I had to leave you because I knew that you would stick around because you're so loyal and so caring, but I didn't want to put you through any more suffering because of my personal problems and because of these things that I feel like I need to work out myself. And it's not because I don't love you. I love you so much. I want to get married to you one day. But it's because I love you that I think you deserve more. All right, pile 4, that is it for your reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel inclined. I will try to put out a video once a week. Thank you. Take care.